Welcome back to a lovely British summer day. This is the 432 that we were in a little mini series of restoring. It's just been painted. Well, I say just been painted. It was painted and probably left 3 days before we brought it outside, so the paint fully cured. And yeah, this is the finished result. I will show you a little bit of the painting process in a minute. But I think, to be honest, get the phone to focus, it's come up really good. All the tin work, new lease of life. Right, that's the red oxide on. We were using the Foden as a compressor, which was very economical, seeing as Jack was painting the FV432 with the main workshop compressor, so we were trying to do two things at once. So the Foden saved the day again. But yeah, there she is in primer. We're going to let that bake for a day, or dry, and then we'll go on with the green.
Gassier, isn't it?
It's what?
A bit gassier.
Here we have the Foden compressor, very economical, working well, green paint going on nicely. Didn't know you worked at Brunting's up.
Yeah, they're everywhere, mate.
Like a bad rash.
Even with the cream, it doesn't go away.
For someone that's never spray painted before, I'd say he's doing all right.
So just before we go to Harbour War, I'm recapping it. But when everything comes back from Harbour War, do that.
But today's job is fixing this CVRT SULTAIN. Some of you rivet counters will know it as the FV432. It hasn't ran for a long time. All I know is it had an issue on the 20th of the 9th, 2013. And it perhaps hasn't ran since then or around that time. So, it is a diesel. Cummins, we know it's pretty much going to start straight up. But the batteries are flat. I think the first thing we're going to do is pull them out and then check the engine oils and bits and pieces and see if we can make it start. Store's nice and light. It's quite tidy inside. Got some fresh engine oil because I'm going to give it a service, and filters. New batteries, they look cheap. Ooh, what we got here? Sultan of Swing. A whole book on it. Anyone remembers filling out any of this? The lie sheet of things it's had done to it. Well, I would look through that, but I'm afraid I couldn't be less interested. Right, let's go further ahead. What have we got? Not too much flooding. Oh, maybe it has been flooding. Looks like there's a tide wave mark there. That is not good. I'm going to have to turn this camera into flash mode. I've just put my hand in a massive tarantula nest web. That's great. Right. Ugh. Let's get the torch on. Okay. Moving in. Seat looks good. Dashboard looks good. Last time someone had bust one of them off. It looks like someone's done the same on this, but it has been fixed. That does feel like it works. How much water is under the helm? A little bit, not too much. Not too much, doesn't look too awful. I wonder if it's got any. I don't want to say it, does feel. Dear, that one's got a bit of air in it. Isolator. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in them batteries. I think the first thing we're going to do is pull them batteries out. Might take the seat to bits and move it out of the way, because getting them out is a pain in the backside. Looks very clean. Very clean indeed. What's the fan turn? It does, but it's tight. Has it got any water in it? Blue antifreeze. What about oil, engine oil? Yeah, not awful. We're changing it anyway. Okay, I can just get that back in there. Right. Let's check the gearbox. The gearbox area doesn't look as mint. In fact, it looks very unmint. And a lot of water back here. There's all your steering brakes and foot brakes. Anyway, here's the gearbox oil. Can make this damn thing focus. Come on. Looks like a little bit of contamination. A bit of water's got in there. Good job we're changing it anyway. But that probably isn't brilliant. Seeing as we know it's full of water, I'm going to undo some of these bungs at the side of the suspension, which should let out some of the water. There we go. That's the first one out. I'll get all of them out and then we shall continue with the job at hand. Right, that's the batteries pulled out. These two batteries are 2006. And just to give you some idea, these replacement nondescript ones, I reckon both of them weigh about the same as one of those original Hawker Energy batteries. So you do get what you pay for. I mean, it's cheap. I mean, these will probably be okay for a year or so, and then they'll be junk. Whereas those Hawkers, if you don't let them drop 4 volt, they can last 10 and sometimes 20 years, or up to 20 years, which is quite amazing. But anyway, let's put these ever so cheap nondescript batteries on. Right, that's the disgustingly cheap poverty batteries putting on. Let's see if there's any power in them. Oh, the ignition's on. Oh, we seem to be trafficating. I can hear a fuel pump. Don't seem to have any dash lights. Some things are working. Alright, well I suppose the only thing we can do now is try and start it. Right, we're going to try and start it now. If it does start, I'm going to see if it will drive forward or backwards and steer. So this will be interesting. Right, you could hear the starter motor clicking, which basically means that the solenoid, which basically makes the motor spin, at the same time of doing that, it has to throw that tooth, that gear, out onto the flywheel. And as you can see, everything looks a bit crusty. So what I'm going to do is try and bar out if I can get the bar in there, and pull out the wheel on the starter motor so it engages, it meshes in the teeth, and hopefully it will stick in there. And that should also open the solenoid, sending power to the starter. So when I do click power, click it to crank, it should crank it over, but it probably won't, let's be honest. Anything could happen. Let's get the bar. Okay, right, I have barred the starter. It was a bit stuck and I managed to get it turning around. I have managed to get it coming out a bit, but it wants to go back in, which is probably good. So I'm going to try and see now if I crank it, if it does any different. Ow. I'll also turn the, what's this zoom doing? I'll also turn the engine over a few times. Oh, the dashboard started working for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Okay, right, let's see what happens. More fettling needed. Here we are using a tie lever now. Managed to get that to come right out, and it is steady. So, let's see what happens now. I have also dropped one of Dad's screwdrivers inside the engine bay, and that is well and truly lost. But no matter. Isolator on, and come on, girl. Come on. Really? Give it a bit of throttle. Oh, it's running. It's not making electricity yet, but it is running. It's making electricity as well. What a bit of kit. Make sure that there's no oil leaks. This is a bloody thing to climb out of. Oh yeah! The old star motor trick worked. It may improve now it's span up once. So that's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on. It could also pack straight up. So I think I'm going to take the decks off this anyway. Well, I'm going to, because I'm going to do a full service and it's a lot easier to get at that filter. Plus I can find out what other stuff are going wrong. I don't know whether I should move my torch before it hits the fan. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. Right, let's see if this thing's going to drive. Well, considering she probably hasn't started since 2013, I'm pretty impressed with that. Didn't start too badly at all. Right, I'm going to set the camera up on the Seb Mark II, which is this thing here, which would replace Seb with. Here we go. Try and get it more central in the shed. I'm going to use the overhead gantry to lift the deck off so I can service it a bit better. That's if it moves forward under its own steam, which it probably won't. absolute babe now. Ready for the front line. I think we'll. Ow. I think we shall take the decks off because my smell's come back today. It does smell a little bit like burning, which could be Dad's screwdriver, which I need to return to him. Well, there we go. It was running, driving, and steering forward and back for the first time in many years. And if some of you are wondering what shed I'm in Dad's workshop, and this used to be. It's actually getting longer, this building. This used to be a squash court, which is what that line is there. Original line there, and then you see there was a tower there which people could watch and mock how bad you were. And then Dad's put this RSJ farmerized thing in here and converted it into a shed. But this was a squash court back in the day. And he also built that massively overkill gantry to store stuff of absolute no value whatsoever. What a bloke. But yeah, very kind of him to lend us the shed for today. Obviously, Jack is painting the... Just a bit of a death trap in here. Jack is painting the FV432's engine bay at the minute. We have painted the green, which I shall put a glimpse of on the screen now. But there will be a video on all that coming soon, so I'm not going to waste it all on a personnel carrier video. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is get the man killer, the block and tackle there, the pulley of death, and attach it up there. I'm going to lift these decks off, back the vehicle back, and then we can have a go at servicing it. Right, well, I've gone round the decks and undid all the top deck bolts. So now I'm going to try Dad's amazing gantry crane and lift it off. Whew. That was easy. Now we can have a better look. These snap-on pry bars, these adjustable ones, are not the strongest, but for getting in places, you can't better them. Very handy. Right, that's the deck off with Dad's sketchy homemade, whatever you want to call that thing, contraption. So now I'm going to undo the bolts, take that water pipe off, then remove this bulkhead. But to do that, we'll also take the seat off, which I thoroughly hate. So I shall do that now. Look, now I've undone the bolts, rip that. I've still got the stop connected. Left one bolt. My Milwaukee ratchet keeps jamming as well. I must have busted the tooth on it. Yeah. Really want to disconnect the stop cable. See the tide mark where the water's been sat for years?
Oh yeah.
She's been a little bit underwater. Right, now I can actually see what's going on in here. I wonder if I can find that screwdriver. Yeah, oh, it all looks really mint. Oh, I found it. Oh, it's got stuck. There we go. All of that for Dad's screwdriver. Oh, it is a very high quality screwdriver. I don't think that engine oil filter's been changed in a day or two. You know when the housing that holds it on's corroded into, it's basically like just a block of cocaine. I think that means it's time to change. I would not want to have to change that belt. That looks like a nightmare. Otherwise though, you can see where the water's been right up, halfway up the starter motor. Which is probably why the starter motor didn't want to work. But it is working pretty well now. It's not too awful. Then I've just got a fuel filter down there. I love how these all come with Leyland DAF fuel filters on. Seat in the back, that was a pain to get out. Wants a wet back in here. To be fair, it wants a good steam cleaning. It's pretty fousty. I don't know what they are. That is the right way, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is tight. I don't think that's been changed for a day or two. Pretty sure you're not supposed to do an oil filter change with a pair of Stiltons. There we go, here we are. Well, it does look a bit watery, doesn't it? In there, looks a bit... I think that's done its day. So, I'm going to put a nice new one on now. Fleet yard. I might leave you, Greg, just to put a bit of new oil in it. And then I'll screw it on.
Get some new oil.
Yeah, some fresh treat in it.
Oh, I nearly disappeared.
Nearly died. I dare say that's tight enough.
Talk to spec.
Look at all the horrendous corrosion coming off. Right, let's see if I can get the... there's another fuel one here, which is in a travel place, under the seat. You know it's time to change because it's gone rusty. Yeah, that could be interesting. Let's put the jaws of life in there if we can fit. This is going well. This isn't going well. Well, we've got to do something now because we've made it leak. I'll tell you what, if you get me that screwdriver that we found and a hammer.
Oh, you're going to bludgeon it through the side?
Yeah, we'll chisel it round one thing or another.
On the organised parts bin.
All the very organised chaos.
It's like shadow foam, but different. Like shadow foam, but different.
Something like that. Oh, now I'm covered in diesel. This is just bending the screwdriver. That stopped it? Oh, not stopped it. Maybe not. Yeah, right going?
I think so. Yeah.
I'll bend the screwdriver back the other way now. Oh, I nearly straightened it back out. Could they put it in a more awkward bloody place? Jesus! Still can't do it with it. Oh, working on tanks is great.
Is this how you usually spend your Friday night?
Oh yeah, this is great, isn't it? What would I rather be doing? Set myself on fire, I think. It's going. It's going. that was easy. Don't know why we even made a big deal about that. And I sat in a bath of diesel. I had nothing in it. Surprising.
Well, it's empty.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Oh, where's it gone?
Blasted thing. Bye. Be gone. Where did I put that rag? Right.
You need more than a rag. I think you need a tanker.
Yeah. I don't want to get wet that. Just doing a minor service. Definitely not losing my patience with it.
How much of this video do you want to be your ears?
Well, I can edit it. It doesn't really matter.
That was easy, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was very easy, wasn't it?
Turns out all you need is a bent screwdriver.
That you can find at the bottom of your engine bay. Let's turn the ignition on. Yeah, it's coming. Let it fill itself back up. Right, there's just one more filter to do now, and it is horrendous. That was the easy one.
That was the easy one.
That was the easy one.
This one you need two bent screwdrivers that you found in the engine.
The other one's somewhere under there. How was your day? Yeah. Right, I was going to change the last filter down there, which is this little one. But it's 7 o'clock. And I'm not mentally and physically prepared to go through that trauma of changing that just now without the right equipment. I might go and buy a proper diesel thing tomorrow, filter thing. So, yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again. I can get out of this stink box.